Happy Super Bowl day. Is that even a holiday? Hey, Joy Giggles. Welcome. For those of you watching the replay, thanks so much for joining. Today we're going to be talking about procrastination versus action. Hi, Mr. Sonny. Hey, Twin Love. How are you? Welcome back. Hey, Felicia. How are you? Welcome back. Hey. If you're new to this scope, definitely tell me your name and where you're coming in from. Twin Love, is that Tiffany? Let me know. Let me know. Hey. Looking for a lover? I know. Rosa. Looking for lover? I know that's Janie. Hey. Good afternoon. One of God's cover girls. Thank you guys for joining. So today we're going to be talking about procrastination. And while procrastination will really mess you up, right? If you're known to procrastinate, hey Ashley, welcome. Hope you come back. Hope you follow. But today we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl of business because a lot of, you and Twin Love. Oh, I have twins, Hope and Faith. Okay, I got it. Janie and Rosa. Looking for love and Twin Love. I got it. Thank y'all for putting me on it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl of business, and one of the biggest things that keeps us behind in life and business, which is, drum roll, procrastination. How many of you know that you suffer with procrastination? Hey, Janetta. For those of you who haven't taken the opportunity to invite your followers, please do so. If you're on an iPhone, swipe to the right. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Kia. Thanks for inviting followers. Yes, we all do. Hey, Precious. I said I'm going to jump on here. Everybody might be on the way to the Super Bowl. I don't know. But if you're like me, I'll get there when I get there. Hey, Empowered Essentials. Okay. Janie and Rosa are sisters. I got to keep that. Thank you, Janetta, for inviting followers. If you could, invite your followers. Hey, oh, girl, I wonder where you were. I thought you might have been under the weather. Hey, Nikita B, sister, welcome. I'm waiting on y'all to invite your peeps. Come on now, if you're on an iPhone, swipe to the right, share on Twitter, invite your followers. We're going to get excited. Oh, great, Diana, girl, welcome. Hey, what happened? Yes. We're going to talk about that P word today, baby. Procrastination. Thank you, Empowered Essential, for inviting followers. Thank you, Debbie Griggs, for inviting followers. That P word, that's a bad word. I'm going to tell you. Girl, you have? Girl, that's good. You know, I want all of y'all out there on Periscope, expanding your platform and growing your business. It is so big. It is so huge. I mean, how many of you are procrastinating getting on Periscope? Say me. Yes, Sharon. All you got to do is use that hashtag Super Bowl. How many of you are procrastinating getting your business out there? Thank you, Crystal, for inviting followers. How many are you procrastinating getting your business out there on Periscope? Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Or you're inconsistent. Tell the truth. Come on, tell the truth, me. So everybody else is scoping every day, right? Thank you for telling the truth, Crystal. Thank you for telling the truth. How many of you know you need to get on Periscope consistently? You got to be consistent. And Debbie, you did a good scope the other night. You did it was really touching. And that's the thing about Periscope is you're open to be yourself. You don't have to be me. I'm silly because I'm silly. Debbie Griggs knows that because she knows me personally. So I'm silly because I'm silly, but you can be who you are. I will. You can be who you are on Periscope, and it's okay. But the more you do it, the better off you're going to be. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Danielle Patterson Winningham. Y'all better get those hearts going. Let's get those Super Bowl footballs out there. Former JP Morgan Chase executive and business consultant that wants to help you put your passion and change your passion into your profit, right? Hey, LC Fabulous. But in order for you to do that, in order for you to do so, you've got to stop procrastinating. You've got to stop. You've got to stop. Thank you, sis, for inviting followers. You know what you need to do. Now, let me tell you, I will procrastinate, have been known to procrastinate. And what do you guys think is the number one reason behind procrastination? Oh, girl, don't say that. You're going to make me cry. Hey, Stephanie MB. Oh, yeah. Girl, I had a project I was working on Friday. I did get busy Friday. I was busy yesterday. But I really, hey, Marcina, how you doing, sweetie? Fear of failure, the F word. Y'all know I use that F word a lot. I'll be talking about get the F out. Hey, Tiana, that's right. Fear will make you put some stuff off. Hey, Reverend Dr. Ebony. But let me tell you something. So I'm going to give you guys some tips. Somebody say tips. Somebody say TIP. Somebody say tips. Because I'm not going to just talk about procrastination. Somebody say tips. We about to get some tips. I'm not going to just talk about procrastination. I'm going to give you some things to overcome procrastination. Because you saw what I started the scope with. There are 7 days in the week, and one day is not one of them. Some day is not one of them. So you definitely have to make sure you're using these tips. Number one, you have to have a conversation with yourself about the fear. It's not going to go away until you have a conversation with yourself. So somebody put that up. Number one, have a conversation with yourself. Because even if you're afraid to get started, if you don't start, you'll never finish. So you need to say to yourself, girl, Nikita B, in this season, we're not entertaining the trolls. My team knows to get the block party started. And so we're not even going to entertain the foolishness. It's a distraction. I can't do it. So, you got to think about what's stopping you and what's at risk. Hey, Lila. So you got to say to yourself, self. Somebody say self. Somebody say self. You got to say self. Thank you, Precious. I'll go on and help you out. Somebody say self. You got to say self. If you don't ever write this book, Stephanie MB, don't make me do it. If you don't ever write this book, you'll never know what's going to happen. If you don't go ahead and start this company, you don't know how you can change your life for the better. If you don't go ahead and start this coaching organization, this coaching firm, this PR firm, this women's movement, if you don't ever start, you'll never finish. So is it more important? Is my fear more important? Or is my faith more important? You got to ask yourself. What do I have to lose if I never get started? If I never get started, I have everything to lose. I have everything to lose if I never get started. That's being honest. That's being honest. We got to have a conversation with ourselves. And we've got to say, enough is enough, self. You can't keep bullying me. You can't keep pushing me around. You can't keep pushing me into this corner. You can't keep making me not be who God called me to be. So that's number one. Have a conversation with yourself and say, look, I could have Oprah abundance. I could have Mark Zuckerberg abundance. Somebody say me if you want that level of abundance. I could have Warren Buffett abundance. I could have Bill Gates abundance. But I can't do it if I keep procrastinating. You need to tell yourself that. You got to tell yourself that you can't have nothing if you keep putting it off. And that's the truth. So you got to talk to yourself, and you got to tell yourself every day, I have a millionaire mind, and a millionaire mind does not allow me to procrastinate. So let's go, self. Let's go. That's number one. Number two, stop looking at it like you got this big mountain to climb and chunk up your task, right? So say you want to write a book. Instead of saying every day that you want to write a book, instead say to yourself, every day I want to write a chapter. Every day I want to write a paragraph. If you write a paragraph every day, regardless as to how busy you are, eventually, y'all heard me right, eventually, you will finish that book. If you write a half a chapter every day, eventually, you'll finish that book. I say 30 minutes, Precious, it's going to take 15 minutes for your muse to show up. Because you know when you got to conjure your muse, yes, Stephanie, eventually. But if you break your task down into a bunch of small tasks that you can do in about 30 minutes a day, what's going to happen is you're going to take those micro steps that make amazing, right, small wins. And you know, you got to quit lying about it. Once you chunk those tests up into small tasks, you can stop lying about it. So getting your whole house in order may take you 2 weeks. But if you tell yourself every day, I'm just going to do 30 minutes. You can't lie to yourself about not having 30 minutes. If it typically takes you an hour to get dressed, bust that down to 30 minutes and use that 30 minutes to do something that your future self will thank you for. And so that's number 2. Number 1 is have a conversation with yourself and let yourself know what's to lose. And number 2, quit trying to climb Mount Everest in a day. Quit trying to find the Holy Grail in a day. Make it small tasks that you can do and you can't lie to yourself about. So that's number 2. Let me tell you this. If you're struggling with procrastination, I bet you got a bunch of distractions. And I want to preface this by saying procrastination is not lazy. Somebody say amen. The procrastinating spirit and the lazy spirit are 2 totally different spirits. Some say amen. I know a lot of people that procrastinate that work really, really hard. That's why we have to break this spirit of procrastination, because you're working really, really hard, but you're working really, really hard on the wrong stuff. You're not working really, really hard on the stuff that's going to give you your breakthrough, on stuff that's going to deliver your abundance, on stuff that's going to put you in the overflow. You're not working hard on that. You're busy being busy. Somebody say amen if I'm telling the truth. Somebody say that's right if I'm telling the truth. And so you have to make sure that you're not just busy being busy, and that you're busy doing the things that are going to take you to the next level. And that's what we'll do. We'll fill our day with a whole bunch of busyness to keep from doing that thing we're afraid of. And it's true because I've done it. It's true. So that's where that conversation with yourself comes in. You got to say, self, we're going to quit playing this busy game, and we're going to do a little bit every day. I ain't trying to get you, Janetta. I'm going to tell you, I played the game for 40 years. Procrastination. I played it. But we got to move forward. We can't stay in that same space. And hey, Admired Rose, welcome. We can't stay in that same space and expect different results, right? We have to change. Our environment is not going to change. The people around us are not going to change unless we first make those steps and change. So that's number 3. Get those distractions out of the way. If you know you struggle with distractions, let me tell you how to really do something for yourself. Keep a time log for a day. Write down everything you did and how long. You'll be surprised some of the stuff you waste time on. And when you identify the things that you're wasting time on, you can really focus on the things that matter. So identify some of the things that you're wasting time on. And here's number 4. Play Jedi mind tricks. Play Jedi mind tricks with yourself. If you normally wake up and jump on Facebook, and you know you ain't getting really no clients from Facebook, and you know you really ain't doing no business, you just scrolling through trying to see who ate what for dinner last night, who checked. I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I ain't trying to hurt nobody. I'm just trying to tell the truth today. If you know you normally spend the first hour of your day scrolling through Facebook, don't allow yourself to get on social media until you've accomplished at least one great thing for yourself. Somebody say amen. If you know you spend your first hour of the day doing a whole bunch of nothing, take that hour and meditate. Oh, amen. We receive it. Take that hour and meditate. Take that 30 minutes and pray. Take that 30 minutes and get you a pen and a notebook and put it right next to your bed. And wake up writing yourself a note of what you're going to accomplish this day. Set yourself up for success. And don't allow yourself to get on social media until you've done it. That's what I used to do. I used to work a full-time job. I was a vice president in Chase. And what I would do is I knew I had to go to work for noon. I would take my hardest task and say, girl, you can't go to that job until you work for yourself. Somebody say amen. Because it's mighty funny you don't procrastinate getting your projects done at work. It's mighty funny you don't procrastinate getting stuff done for your man. I find it odd that when your children need something, you do that immediately. But when it comes to you and your dreams and your aspirations, you always busy. You better have a conversation with yourself. You better have a conversation with yourself about it. You better talk to yourself about it. Hey, no bien. Hey, my baby bookworm. You better have a conversation with yourself about it immediately. We get so much done for everybody else. Planning folks' weddings, helping other people launch their business. Say me if this is you. Helping your man launch his business. Taking on extra duties at work. Always raising your hand when somebody needs to be voluntold. And then when it gets down to brass tacks, and it's time for you to do something for yourself, you got all this busy standing in the way. Voluntold, yes. Because somebody got to do it right. You got all of these reasons that you can't. You said start reading my mail. I'm just saying. Reading it now, Charles Duhigg, baby. That's why I started the Do Something Challenge. If you've never read The Power of Having, no, man, I think you be testing my book skills. But, baby, I got book skills. Shelly will tell you, I stay on top of books. Matter of fact, you want to know? You want to know? You want to know, no, man? You want to know? Ask me about another book. Ask me about another book. Baby, I keep that bookshelf lit up. You won't miss me on a book. No, I stay on it. I stay on it. That's what made me start the 21-day challenge. That's what made me start. So if you don't know, I have a 21-day Do Something challenge because we know amazing action creates amazing results and amazing abundance. And we have a challenge where we're doing 21 days of prayer, visualization, and go ahead, Quasi. Go ahead, Crystal. Y'all done said, you know y'all my family. Prayer, visualization, and push. Go ahead, Janie. Prayer, visualization, and push. This is all about breaking that spirit of procrastination with, who is that by? Who is that by? You might have got me on that one. Who is it by? But it's about taking 21 days. If you've not signed up, go out and sign up right now, right now, right now. No, I haven't read that one. I got to get it. I'm going to put that on my list. Break the spirit of procrastination right now. If you know you want to create a powerful habit, The Greatest Salesman in the World by Og Mandino. He says, if I must be a slave to habits, right? I want to be a slave to good habits. If I must, I'll definitely be on the lookout for it. If I must be a slave to habits, then I want to be a slave to good habits. Good habits is getting up every day. Every day I get up. I get on Periscope for prayer between 5:30 and 6. I get on Periscope for business between 7:30 and 8. I have some things that I do every day and have done every day for years because I know it brings me results. I know that the biggest flaw with most small business owners is consistency. And knowing what to be consistent about. Don't be consistent about the things you like to do. Say amen. Be consistent about doing those things that may be a little tougher. I'm just saying. Does anybody need a push? Somebody say me. Do you need a push? Somebody say me. Because sometimes we need to be pushed out of that space. Sometimes we need to be pushed out of that space where we are. Sometimes we're stuck in a spot, and the only thing that's going to help us get out of that space is a push. So if you need a push, join this 21-day challenge. And don't hesitate. The challenge is free. But don't hesitate to invest $21 to invest in yourself, to get the daily motivation, the daily actions in your email that are going to push you to success. Commit to doing something different every day. Commit to getting it done. And I'll tell you, the great part about it is about 95% of the people who have already signed up, invested. There you go, baby. It's bit.ly. Do something 2016. It's also in my profile, and it's also in the title of this go. But 95% of the people that have signed up said, look, I'm committed enough about this thing that I'm going to invest a whopping $21, a whopping $1 a day to make some difference in what I'm doing. Because I'm tired of doing and doing and doing. The word this morning said, it said, come to me for rest and refreshment. The journey has been too much for you and you are bone weary. Do not be ashamed of your exhaustion. Instead, see it as an opportunity for me to take charge of your life. How many of you are tired? How many of you are tired of being tired? You seem like you're doing everything and nothing. You seem like you're moving forward, but staying still. You seem like you're making all the money, but have none of the money. Somebody say me if you hear what I'm saying. Somebody say me. Somebody say me. Them trolls waiting on the Super Bowl. Somebody say me. You know, because we're doing it all and we've got to have a rhythm behind what we do. So we said, have a conversation with yourself, number 1. Number 2, take small steps every day consistency. Number 3, stop wasting time. Remove distractions. Play mind tricks with yourself to get stuff done. Thank you, sis. Thank you, Janie. Number 5 is, can you see your success? Can you see your success? Do you spend time every day visualizing the life you want? Or do you run from thing to thing to thing to thing to thing? Do you spend time every day visualizing your success? If you know that's something you need to do, say me. Because once you start to do that every day, everything changes. You need to start visualizing your success every day. Y'all want to hear a story? Say story time. Anybody want to hear a story? Say story time. Y'all want to hear a story? There you go, Carla. There you go, Precious. There you go, hey, Leona. There you go, Janie. All right, no bien. All right, Quasi. So there, I read this story in Chicken Soup, I think for the athletes. So, hey, Jordan. And there was an Olympic athlete. He got approved for the Olympics, and he was going to be competing. Well, right before his training period started, he got injured. And the injury was so extensive that he wasn't going to be healed until literally a week before the Olympics. And if anybody knows anything about the exhaustive training that they do for the Olympics, you know that only having a week to train for the Olympics ain't no time. People out there training for months and years. Well, he was going to be healed in just enough time to make the Olympics. But instead of him saying, woe is me, what he did while he was healing was every day on his couch, hey, bruh, he would sit and visualize. He was a pole vaulter. He would visualize himself going over the pole. He would visualize that bar getting higher and higher. He would visualize himself being able to accomplish vault after vault. He would visualize himself on that Olympic stand getting that medal around his neck. And so when it came time for the Olympics, he didn't get a gold medal, but he did get a bronze. And it was amazing because most people were like, you haven't even had time to train. And you know what he said? He said, I trained every single day for 12 and 14 hours a day. You see, the battlefield starts up here. And when we can train this to act right, when we can train this to motivate us, when we can train this to see what we wanted to see, when we can train this to stomp out negative opinions of ourselves, when we can train this, your heart is going to train this. Your head is going to train your heart, and you can do anything. Every battle that's ever won is won in the mind first. Every single battle. I don't care what it is. It is won on that battlefield of the mind first. So this 21-day challenge is about putting your Kevlar on, your bulletproof. It is about getting all your tools together, all your weapons of mass destruction. It is about suiting up every day and being in war for your destiny, fighting the battle for your purpose, being deliberate about your success. Hey, mature one, welcome back, sis. What'd you tell me? And if you're not doing that already, and that's not a habit for you, you know, the battle is not yours, but you do have to make sure you're fighting in addition to the Lord. You can't fight against him. You cannot fight against him, and that's what most of us are doing. Most of us are fighting against the abundance that he already has set up against us. So the fight we have to fight is up here in our minds. And see, God gave us free will, so he can't fight this fight for us. We have to fight this fight for ourselves. What I mean is we so busy looking out in the world for an enemy, we got to fight the inner me. We so busy worried about haters, and we're not having a conversation about why we hate ourselves. So we can let God fight them battles out there in the world, but when it comes to fighting the inner me, I got to suit up and be ready to do that battle myself. I'm just telling somebody, I hope you hear me. I hope you hear me, because this is the most important battle of your life. It ain't about anybody in the world, because God said he got that covered. He said no weapon formed against you will prosper. He said I got the world covered. He said I run this out here, but see, he gave you free will. You run this up here. So until you look at that word and say, I'm in agreement with what that word says I am, I'm in agreement with what that word says I need to be doing, and I need to stop tripping with myself. I need to stop talking down to myself. I need to stop discouraging myself. I need to stop coming up with these roadblocks for myself. Come on now, somebody say me. Yeah, if it's the truth. I was my own worst enemy for 40 years. For 40 years, I was battling myself. And to be honest with you, that other self won most of the time. I'm just being honest. It's action versus procrastination. And I've got to get up and do something. God's already done enough. What we say when you praying for God to move the mountain, you better grab a shovel. You better grab a shovel. Because the Bible already said faith without works ain't doing nothing for nobody. Faith without works ain't getting it done. You can pray till you blue in the face and you got to get up and go do some work. Hey, happy Super Bowl day. Today we're talking about the business Super Bowl. Action versus procrastination. Who y'all got in the Super Bowl? Who you got? Do you have action or do you have procrastination? I got action. I got action. It's going to be a shutout. Action is going to win by 4. See, we got to go to work. Action is going to win this one, baby. Because procrastination has won out for too long. And we know that action is going to score a mini touchdown. Action is going to run all the way up the field. Action is going to set some records for the longest punt. Action is going to set some records for the longest field goal. All we have to do is get into action. This is the Super Bowl of life. This is the Super Bowl of business. You can't keep sitting on the sidelines. Oh, don't say that, Ivies. Don't say that. From now on, say action is your middle name. It's amazing how words change everything. It is amazing how words change everything. If you start giving yourself credit. Oh, thank you, Tiana. There you go, Ivies. There you go, boo. That's right, Debbie. Rebuke that, Ivy. Come on now. Say action is my middle name. Somebody say it. Because we got to stop beating ourselves up for the crazy stuff. We've got to stop. We've got to stop because I promise you, life is too important for us not to give. There y'all go. Action is my middle name. Somebody said this morning, call me Action Jackson. So we've got to get in action about the things we want to see in our lives. Somebody say amen. It is up to us. Quasi, you ain't read my book. You didn't read my book. It's over here somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? You didn't read my book. I'm looking for the 4 agreements. The 4 agreements say be impeccable with your word. And what he means by impeccable with your word is not only keep your word, but be careful what you say about other people, and especially be careful what you say about yourself. Girl, you say you action that. Hey, welcome back, Tracy. I know that's right. You put me on, you got them 16 books. Girl, let me tell you, the 4 Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz is a short book, but it's an impactful book. It is a very impactful book. And what that book says, it wants to remind you to be who you were before the world taught you were somebody else. Remember when we were children, we thought we could accomplish anything. And it wasn't no procrastination. If we woke up that morning and said we building a tree house, we got out in the back and we built that tree house that day. Somebody say amen. If we said tomorrow it's Don Miguel Ruiz. If we said tomorrow we going to catch lightning bugs, baby, we got out there and we caught them lightning bugs. It wasn't a day delay, amen. It wasn't until we got grown and we learned this thing called fear. Because see, small children, they have to be taught fear. Small children have to be taught fear. We were taught fear. We were taught fear by the people around us, modeling what our parents did, what our family did. There you go, Shelley. We were taught fear. See, small children don't register what fear is. So they're virtually fearless. So when we were fearless back then when we were fearless, we wanted to be astronauts. What are they, Noba Ann? Falling and the dark. I know we have an inherent fear of falling. Quasi, wasn't that Dream Giver a good book? If you've never read The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson, it talks about procrastination. It talks about procrastination. That is the perfect book. But y'all want me to tell you a little bit about it? Somebody say story time. You want me to tell y'all a little bit about it? Then I'm going to go get ready for the Super Bowl. So in the book, The Dream Giver by Bruce Wilkinson, this man had a dream. He lived in a normal town went to his normal job every day. Hey, moving star, welcome back. Went to his normal job, had his normal wife, did these normal things every day. But one day he had a dream, Keisha, moving star. One day he had a dream, hey Fatima, that he wanted to do something bigger and better. So he told his friend was like, man, that don't sound right. What you say, Quasi, don't, hey, I'm finna tell it. But he kept having this dream. And so one day he went to his normal parents' house, and his normal mama was out getting groceries, so he got a chance to talk to his normal dad. And he told his normal dad about his dream. And his dad said, son, I'm surprised that you're telling me this. Don't you remember that used to be your dream when you were little? You would go out in the backyard and build that dream for hours. You'd build it out of mud and sticks and flowers. I'm surprised you even forgot that dream when you were older. But he said, son, don't do like me. He said, I had a dream once. The dream giver came and visited me and gave me a dream. And I know it was the dream giver because he left a white feather on my windowsill. And his son said, yeah, me too. I got the white feather. His dad said, I waited so long, son. I kept saying one day I'll build the dream. Someday I'll build the dream. Maybe I'll build the dream. He said, and I procrastinated, son, and waited so long that one day I went back and the white feather had turned to dust. That's what happens to your dreams if you procrastinate. Thank you, Rosa, for sharing on Facebook. That's what happens to your future if you procrastinate. That's what happens to your life if you procrastinate. You look up one day and you realize you've been living this life for everybody but yourself. He talks about that too in The Alchemist. Yeah. Ain't that deep, y'all? Y'all didn't know I was crazy. They didn't know I was finna get deep like that. That's deep. Yes, Keisha, no dust. That's deep. That's deep. It's a good book, y'all. Bruce Wilkinson also wrote the Prayer of Jabez. If you've never heard, Jabez was a little known man in the Bible, and he prayed to God. Yes, he talked about it in The Alchemist too. When you're on this journey, you get weary. You got to go after it and be nonstop, because once you get weary, you'll put it down. You'll put it down. I'm trying to help y'all today. That's why this 21-day challenge is going to be instrumental. It's about building the consistency you need to, number one, step out and do something different. And number two, to stay the course, realizing it's not that bad. When I look back at everything I've accomplished in the last 4 years, being on 3 magazine covers, being in over 100 magazines nationwide, being on over 50, 60 websites, from the TodayShow.com to MSNBC.com, CareerBuilder.com, Huffington Post, been featured in Ladies Home Journal, Red Book, Essence. When I think of the 3 presidential awards I've won for community service, multiple Business Coach of the Year awards, multiple Speaker of the Year awards, multiple Life Coach of the Year awards, being honored in London this September for a Lifetime Achievement Award. When I think of all the stuff I've done in 4 years, just because I took a step every day. I didn't do anything, one thing monumentous. It wasn't, and Darren Hardy talks about that too in The Compound Effect. And Jeff Olson talks about that in The Slight Edge. Yeah. I'm just amazed by God's grace. You understand what I'm saying? I won 2 presidential awards from Barack Obama for community service, and one from George Bush, George W., the son. But when I look at just the many blessings that I've had, girl, I would never seen my big old face on no magazine cover. And I've been on 3. And that, to me, that is like, really? He will, Debbie. But you got to help him. You got to help him. You got to move forward. I'm going to tell y'all a God story. When I hit send on my article to Ladies Home Journal, I knew. Yeah, they better not put that body on there, no Ben. But they can use the face. But when I see it send on that article, the Ladies Home Journal, I knew that God had my back. When I hit, and I'm going to tell you, I was featured in Redbook, didn't even know it. Have been on the phone with the editors from many major magazines and just blown away at the relationships I've built. There are some freelance writers that write for O that contact me directly. I've been able to connect my clients with opportunities. Little steps every day. Little bitty baby steps. Some days that's all I could take. So when I tell you it's possible, it's possible. And I hardly ever talk about my accomplishments. I hide them for the most part. Because that's not who I am. I want people to meet me and greet me for who I am. And when I come here with no wig on, a little bit of car mix, maybe some earrings, this is who I am every day. And I want people to be comfortable being who they are, because that is the key to your abundance, is being who you are. So if you've not signed up for the 21-day challenge, you still got time. We kick it off tomorrow morning, bright and early. It's going to be fantabulous. Yes, you have to. Thank you, Rosa. Thank you, twin girl. Girl, it is what it is. Yeah, you have to. It's a journey. Being comfortable being who you are is a journey. That's also a progressive. That's also a progressive thing. You know, at some point you just get tired of hiding. You know, I was coming on here every day with the wig on, but I'm gonna be honest, I just got tired of wearing that wig. And girl, I couldn't wait to get off Periscope, take the wig off. And so my little hair started growing back. And I was like, you know what, girl? I'm finna get it one day. I just couldn't do it no more. I said, I am not putting that wig on today. And they either like it or they don't. Either way, I am who God made me to be. And if they stick around long enough, maybe they'll find something that bless their life. If they're superficial, right, then maybe they won't get it, but that's okay, you know. And so we have to be like that, and that's how we have to move through the world. I can't let the world keep hammering my head and beating me down. Oh, thank you, Debbie Griggs. You just saying that because you love me. No, girl, no, but Ann, let me tell you something. This hair is sporadic. I have alopecia, and if I didn't, I would not play with hair at all. I never did. But in places, you can't see it on Periscope, but in places my hair is missing in action. And so that's why I wear the wigs more than anything. So I want to just be honest with you. Procrastination versus action, yes. Number one, have a conversation with yourself. And guys, just so you know, these notes are always on my website, like the next day at IamDanielleWinningham.com. If you sign up on my list, you will get these notes sent to your email. Number one, have a conversation with yourself and talk about what you have to lose. Number two, take small steps every day. Don't try to get it all done at once. Number three, realize the value of time. Stop having distractions. If you have to, create a time log. Number four, visualize your success. Use every day to see your success. And number five, reward yourself when you do something good. So I'm going to get off here and let you guys go watch that game. I'm going to go watch that game too. I'm rooting for Action to win it by a landslide. I love you guys. Make sure you sign up. Girl, what you say? Go Google a time log, moving start. But the simplest log is just like if you have a day runner that runs 24 hours, just write down what did you do from 7 to 8? What did you do from 8 to 9? What did you do from 9 to 10? Just write it down like that. But you can Google time log and get one to just print out. Hope that helps. All right, love you guys much. Make sure you sign up for the challenge ASAP. Hope to see you later tonight after the Super Bowl if you guys are not too busy. And make sure that you're taking small steps. I'm rooting for Action 2 and the Panthers, but my son is rooting for the Broncos. So we gonna see. We got kind of split household. But me and the twins gonna go grab some grub. Today, Tracy? Absolutely. All right, y'all. See you guys later. Thank you.